Hiya folk. Just coming on. Yesterday, well, Thursday, my mum ordered me these as my Easter. They're the new, excuse me a minute, I'm just going to get me drink of juice. They're the new Distress Inks from Tim Holtz. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh. Right, so where were we? Right, Distress Inks. This was January release, February release, March release. They're not hitting the stores till the end of the month. So the new colour for April is Fossilised Amber, which is in between Dried Marigold and Wild Honey, but it's like a dirtier colour, it's more brown tone in it, for me anyway, from what I've seen. So I think it will help with the distress line. My favourite out of these colours at the moment is this one. The reason being, I'm not a pink girl, and I'm not overly keen on brown. So when you're doing a lot of vintage stuff, it is a lot of sepia colour and there's not much colour in it. But this will work fab. Now you'll see the corners are a bit darker. This is me just distressed them slightly with Vintage Photo because I wanted to see how they muddied up a wee bit. So this is Mermaid Lagoon. When I first saw this on paper, my initial reaction was it's the same as Salty Ocean, but I was wrong. Salty Ocean has more blue tone to it. This has more of a turquoisey tone, so they are different when they go down. And adding in this Vintage Photo, it definitely adds that aged look to it. And if you're doing that on an older project, it will come up fab. So I really like that. I like the turquoise tone in it. This one I absolutely love, and honestly, I'm not an orange colour. I'm not an orange girl at all. Very few of my projects come up orange, but I like this, especially when you've added the Vintage Photo into it. It takes the pink and the orange out of it and really does add that vintage tone to it, but you're still seeing a pop of colour. So that will be, I think, a go-to colour for me. On the distress line at the moment, I would say it's really difficult to actually put this in somewhere. It's not really on the red tones, for me anyway. I know Tim Holtz has, on his channel, he's shown each with the line that he thinks they match with, basically. But personally, I think this is on its own at the moment. I don't really see anything else on the line that I would say it's very close to. It's got more pink in it than right persimmon. It just, as I said, it's a good extension. It's a nice colour to add to the palette. And lastly, we've got January's colour, which again is a lovely, lovely colour. And it's a Cracked Pistachio. For me, it's more of an apple green, mint green colour. But when you add the Vintage Photo, it just muddies it up and makes it more of a a moss colour. So for like landscapes, garden projects, that is going to be fab. If you're doing like garden, for instance, a plant birthday card, or a birthday card with some floral design on it, that will be good for that. And again, putting it into the line of Distress, it's really, really hard to place it because it's different from all the rest of the colours. The only colour so far that I would say is in the line is Mermaid Lagoon, and it's close to Salty Ocean, but not the same. I'm going to see if I can even show you them side by side type of thing. Wait, I'll see if I've got Salty Ocean nearby. Ah, it's not too far. Just give me a second. Sorry for throwing you about a bit there. Come on, sit nice now. Behave. That's better. Right, so I've got these. What I'll do is just sit those two forward, and I'll show you these together. Now, Mermaid Lagoon, I don't have an extra sponge for, so at the minute I'm using I've got a wee tiny makeup sponge, and there's actually loads of ink on it, so I'm not even adding any more ink to it. And I've just covered myself in it. Yeah. Right, and Salty Ocean, where are we? Here we are, here. And I'll just lift out my brushes, one of the applicators. Right, so scrap of paper of card. Right, I'll just do it on this, and I'll pick a white ATC so you can see the true value of it. Oops, I've left my glue gun on. Silly me. Just when I wait to get that there, I'm going, what's hot? Silly bug. Right, I've got up there. Right, so here we go. Now this is Salty Ocean. And I'll just start off the page and bring it on. And just blend it down a wee bit. Sorry if I'm shaking you about a bit. Right, thought that was moving there. I think I'm away with the birthdays today. Right, and then we've got this one here, and again I'll try. It's really, really hard to work with these small sponges, so I'll try and just bring it on. But you can see the difference. That's Salty Ocean, that's Mermaid Lagoon. So you can see there is a definite colour difference, but they do blend well together. That's the worst thing for blending, but using my sponge applicator, I can easily merge them together a lot better. There we go. So that's you getting kind of like a true blend, but you can still see the difference in them. So even though they are on the same colour tones, they are different and they will have different properties when you're putting them down. So I hope that's kinda helped with that. If I've got some pretty blooming tables up with. So much blooming mess, honestly. But yeah, they do work really, really prettily on the line, and I think you will enjoy adding them to your palette. You can understand how close they are. You, at first glance, and I'll be honest, these lids are the best representation I've seen so far of Distress ink. I mean, you can even see it there. That Salty Ocean isn't very close to what the lid is. Otherwise, with that, you can see the tones are very similar. And the same with this. You can see the tones in it. They are really similar. And again, with that, you can see it, which is unusual for Distress, because normally their lids don't represent the colours at all, but these do. So have a wee go. I know at CHA Tim had mentioned he is releasing these in minis, but they will be out quarterly. So by my calculation, when Fossilised Amber hits our shops at the end of April, I would imagine that the first 3 colours, which are these 3, should be available in mini at the end of this month. So if you're not a big inker and you don't stamp a lot, but you do like maybe distressing the edges of your cards or whatever, minis might be the best choice for you, and they will be out at the end of the month, I would imagine, because that's his quarter up. I haven't seen what prices they're coming out at. These range from about $3.99. You can get them from Country View Crafts with free delivery, but at the moment these 2 aren't in stock from what I've seen. I got these from That's Crafty and I paid $4.99 each, which is expensive and I wouldn't normally pay for Distress, but anybody that knows me knows I am a set person. So when I've got every colour in the Distress line in ink pads. So when these 3 colours get released, I've been itching to get them. And with these 3 being in stock at one shop, I thought, on you go mum, just order them. So I got these 3, I got a new glossy accents, because I go through it like nobody's business, and I also got 75 cream ATCs. Just saves so much time. As you'll have seen in the video I've just put up with the pocket letter sets, I only had to pick a paper line and then embellish it. I didn't need to cut my cards down, I didn't need to measure anything, it was just go. And I like that. I like being able to just create rather than do all the mundane stuff. So if you love your colours, have a look at these new ink pads. They are worth investing in, especially if you do like the rest of the Distress line. These are a wonderful extension to it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now.